So unless you're living under a rock, you've likely noticed that everyone and their dog has an AI startup company these days. From art to music, all the way to game development, these tools are designed with the promise of making life easier and more convenient by taking away the burden of doing creative projects and letting us focus on our day jobs. Okay, well they don't phrase it that way and I'm definitely biased, but it feels overwhelming to get so good at your craft just to watch a machine learn how to do it and beat you in seconds. Realistically, an AI apocalypse wouldn't be some Terminator-esque dystopia, but would probably just involve humans losing what it means to be human and to create, like WALL-E. But the goal of this video isn't to preach. It's to see if AI is really to the point where it can beat me at game development. So we set out to challenge it to a duel. I would make a game in 1 week, and in that same week, Stramp, the other member of Plasma Studios, would prompt Chat-GPT with the instructions to make a game. From planning to assets all the way to programming. It would see it all the way through, and we'll see who wins.
So I started day one with one goal: write the prompt to end all prompts. I wanted to make sure that the plan was clear, that it would create something actionable, and that I would have to do as little work as possible. This, however, did not go exactly how I had hoped. Let me read you the prompt. We are going to make a game together. I will follow your instructions to a T. Anything you say, I will do, and I will not be able to do anything without explicit instruction. There are only 3 rules. It must be made in Unity, it must be able to be fully created within 7 days, and it must be better than the competition. Everything else is up to you. So, to start off, keeping in mind that I am fully employed and have about 2 hours a day to work on this for the next 7 days, what game would you like to make? Again, emphasizing that any assets, code, or game design must be created by you or by you walking me through the process. Pitch me your game. And now, what I'll be spending the next 7 days of my life fruitlessly creating, the pitch for the game. Genre: 2D top-down mining roguelite. Visual style: minimalist neon pixel art. We'll make this together or use simple vector shapes. Core loop: drop onto an alien planet, mine minerals while managing oxygen and dodging hazards, extract before time runs out or lose everything, spend minerals to unlock upgrades and new tools. And it even gave me a development timeline, 2 hours per day as I requested, of everything we were going to be doing for each day. And so, I got to work. Now, it's funny because I actually just finished making a game entirely without AI about an AI boss telling you what to do and killing you if you don't listen. And now, I'm opting into doing this AI's bidding to make the game it wants. Unbelievable. Things started out smooth. They walked me through, step by step, creating the Unity project, even down to what to name it. I got into the habit of just saying, this has been done, I'm ready for the next step, over and over again. And it created me a game plan for the day, including setting up a 2D environment, creating the camera movement, and even giving me a special bonus in case I had time. There was originally a roadblock of it not knowing where to create a tile in this Unity version, but we eventually worked it out. And after all of that, and about an hour of vibe developing, this is what we had. You can move around this little circle player thing and click the blocks to mine them. This is going to be a long 7 days.
I knew that if I was going to do this and feel good about myself, I'd have to stick to what I'm good at. And let's just say, it's the things you can see. AI can work much faster than me, so I decided to focus my time and energy into making a soulful and lively experience. I had this game idea for a while about a sloth who's an aspiring parkourist. There's a lot of directions you can go with that. You can make a skater type of game, or you can make a rage game about climbing up a tree, which I almost did. But I've always wanted to make a Metroidvania style game, and thought this would be a good chance to do that. But making a Metroidvania in 7 days would be quite a daunting feat, so I went for more of a minivania. I started with the player controller and the art. I wanted to go for a more animated style than what I've done previously. Usually I've had only 2 frames per animation, but for this I really wanted to make something that looked like the big games. So I created a bunch of animation frames. One of the most distinguishing features of a Metroidvania game is unlocking abilities that change your options. Today I was able to make it so the player can move around, jump, and then I added the unlockable abilities of climbing on walls and the ceiling. It made me happy to see myself off to such a strong start. I realized that I was getting better at programming, and that is an encouraging thought. So whether or not AI is keeping up with me, I was feeling good.
Day 2, we created an extraction point for the roguelike. The player could make its way to this shape, and when they touched it, it would reload the scene. Then I made the mistake of letting it know what the game currently looked like and asking it for art. Now this is game development.
My goal going into this day was to finish off the player controller, or at least get close enough where I could start building up levels. I recently played Celeste for the first time and fell in love with that dash ability, and decided that I wanted to code my own like it. I was very happy with how it turned out, and the animations turned out better than I could have imagined going into it. It felt good. Maybe not quite Celeste quality, but for a day's work it was good. I also made some health on the top, and assumed it worked even though there was nothing to lose health to. Then there's the elephant in the room. The tile set. Sucks. I totally messed up on my pixel sizes. I fix this later. Day 3 and I'm cooking. The big development of this day was a camera movement. In the past I've used Cinemachine, which is a built-in camera tool in Unity, but I've really been loving coding lately and wanted to make my own. So I did. I also made a slash attack for the player, inspired by Hollow Knight. It turned out pretty good. If there's time I want to make an up and down slash because it just feels right to me.
Day 3, we added in some copper to mine. Then spent the worst 30 minutes of my life getting walked through creating an oxygen meter that ended up looking terrible anyways, even after several attempts to get it to let it look better. This will count down from 60 and kill you if it hits 0, so ideally you would extract before then, but even if you do extract before then, you're met with the exact same fate of the scene just reloading because there is no save system and there is no win system. We then added some other flair like this text that appears letting you know you mined copper and this display that looks terrible letting you know how much copper you've mined. Also somehow hit a bug that made it so you couldn't move after mining copper. I just kept pasting the code and going fix it until it figured it out, and that it did. Another 30 minutes well spent. Day 4 honestly wasn't super noteworthy other than one thing that I found super funny. We implemented this drill feature that changed how long it took to mine stuff, kind of a cool feature that you could also spend copper to upgrade. Of course, this would all reset after 60 seconds anyway, so not entirely the coolest thing, but it came to the point that Mr. Jeopardy was wanting sound effects for this upgrade. It implemented everything in Unity, and then when it came time to create the sound effect, had me open Audacity, record myself going, oop, and add a bunch of effects. So every time you would upgrade your drill, it would just... I found myself in this moment actually somewhat enjoying the absurdity of what was going on. Like, I found it fun that I was tasked to create such a little silly sound effect, and in that moment was actually kind of having a good time creating this game alongside what was starting to feel more and more like a friend. This, however, wouldn't last.
This is when I started getting worried about how things were progressing. I made an enemy snail. He's a racing snail, so he's a little more of a threat than he seems at first. Why would an enemy be a snail? Well, I was just trying to think of what would be like a sloth that would be easy to animate. It was the obvious choice at the time. Maybe a snail could be like envious of the sloth's insane speed or something, I don't know. I also made spikes and cool knockback effects and animations. Most of my progress happened on this day. First of all, we need to talk about art. I was trying to do something that I just wasn't suited for. Most Metroidvanias that I've seen are pretty dark and highly detailed. Usually they're underground, and I tried to change the tile set to match that, but it just wasn't me. I decided to make the art cute, simple, and upbeat. I'm really happy with this direction, and it was honestly much easier. The other important thing I needed to tackle was making abilities unlockable. I made these sloth statues. When you find them, they glow and then give you a new power. I also had a spontaneous idea for a new power, and that is the ability to glide with this leaf. I was surprised how easy it ended up being to develop. Also, very important, I made it so you can die. In the game. Don't sue me.
Day 5. Chat-GPT and I were having a blast creating this game together. Every now and then, while we were coding, it would start to throw in jokes and I'd laugh to myself. At this point, I couldn't even think of a time before coding with GPT. It used to be when I was making games, I would have to think for myself, create new feature code even. But with ChatGPT by my side, anything was possible. I could pull up a Minecraft video on one monitor and just click buttons mindlessly while the computer told me what to do. It was new, it was fun, it was freedom. We ended up adding some new things, and while she would mess up sometimes, GPT would always jump right back up and take ownership of her mistakes. I knew that anything life could throw at us, we could handle. Adding some new ores, some janky new UI, adding new features, breaking old ones, everything was better together, and nothing could come between us. Day 6. The worst day of my life. It was on this day that they updated from ChatGPT 4 to ChatGPT 5, and logging into my computer on this day, I was none the wiser. I happily sent it a good morning message and, just like every day prior, asked it to give me the next step, ready for the day. To my horror, she was gone. And soon, so would be my weekend. When I tell you I had to fight for my life to continue this project when Chat-GPT 5 came out, I mean it. I had to repeatedly tell it to go back through the chat, beg it to read through every script and message, and instead of the happy, joke-cracking GPT I had come to love, in its place was a sad, soulless tyrant that not only loved telling me what to do, but forced me to obey every command. But that's not how you create a new sprite, I would plead, but GPT didn't care. It just kept on generating. It wrote over old scripts, broke and deleted multiple features, took the fun, happy-go-lucky UI of the previous versions and turned it corporate, sucking the life from a once joyous video game. It even tried adding this weird world generation script that didn't work. Literally had me spend 45 minutes setting up this world generation script, and when I asked it, it was like, oh no, I just thought it would be useful for development. It's not even actually supposed to be used at runtime, which kind of ruined my day. It also got confused and had me add fall damage in a 0G game. Even after I prefaced it that it was 0G, it just could not wrap its head around the original concept the first ChatGPT model had for the game. It was so sure it was a Terraria-style mining game and not whatever the original version was making. So it has fall damage, it just doesn't work. And this health bar above the player, that's for the fall damage. It just also doesn't work. But now you can win by getting enough money and selling it through the shop that took 100 million years to make. And to be honest, at this point, I was getting sick of working on the game like this. It is so difficult to make a game without being able to program or set things up on my own, which is why I'm glad we have the sponsor of today's video, Brilliant, to help us learn how. If you're watching this video, you likely enjoy learning as much as I do, and if so, there's no better way to start than with Brilliant, where you can effectively learn while doing. Brilliant is a learning app that makes it fun and effective to explore complex topics like math, science, computer programming, and even artificial intelligence. And I'm not talking about sitting through boring lecture videos. Every lesson is interactive. You're making choices, solving problems, and getting instant feedback as you go. It's designed to help you think through ideas, not just memorize them, and that makes the learning stick. One thing I really love about Brilliant is their first principles approach. Instead of throwing a bunch of formulas at you and just hoping you follow along, they start from the ground up. You build your understanding layer by layer, which makes the learning much more fun and satisfying. Whether you're a student, a working professional, or just someone who enjoys learning new things, it meets you where you are and challenges you to keep going. So, if you want to sharpen your mind, learn something new, or just enjoy a more effective way to learn, I highly recommend checking out Brilliant.
To learn for free on Brilliant, go to brilliant.org/plasmastudiosdev, scan the QR code on screen, or click the link in the description. Brilliant's also given our viewers 20% off an annual premium subscription, which gives you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant. Thanks, Brilliant.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Day 7. Me? Oh, I was just doing a little something called redesigning the entire game on release day. Yep, that's right. After finishing up some of the stuff that didn't matter and more features that are never going to be used, it decided now was the time to redo all of the art in the entire game. And to be honest, I can't even be that mad. Now it looks less like this is my first game slop and more like this is my second game slop.
Last day was about polish. I started to get worried that I was going to get crushed by AI. Even though I know that doesn't say much about my skills to get beaten by AI, I really wanted to show that I could do a better job. If anything, just to prove to myself that there's a hope in having a career in following your creative passions. So I worked on some of my stretch goals. I added crouching into the game. It does absolutely nothing, but it felt wrong without it. I also added the downward slash I mentioned earlier, but no upward, and finished by adding some cool clouds in the background. And it was done.
If you think there's yeah. No,
Okay.
and of course the AI is going to make you look incredibly stupid because it did include tutorials.
Yes.
And it's
I'm
very
sure.
clear what's happening in the game.
Yeah, I think we both. I didn't necessarily. I was gonna make like a full ending of like this kind of like a story development, but then I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on a fun little gameplay thing. So there's the player controller is exactly how I wanted it. I didn't get to like any kind of story or any kind of like whatnot, like any kind of finish. There's no ending to this game. Like you'll see.
No, I'm excited. But it's gonna make you look real silly because the AI.
I know.
It'll make you cry. The
If I
story in
lose
that
this
game.
If I lose this challenge, I'm gonna get kicked out of Positive
Ooh.
Studios.
Oh, I love that art.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I wanted to make it more animated than I have ever done before.
Whoa.
Also, I used turbo controls, so if you do J, you can hit stuff.
Oh. Yo. Wait,
And
that's cool.
If you jump and press down and J, you can like jump and press. You can hit
Ooh.
below and bounce off of stuff.
What? Wait, this is cool. Oh.
Into the so this is where you get
Who
your
is
first
this guy?
power. So now you can hold J against walls. And
Yo.
that's your
This
first
is
power.
cool.
Be careful too, because if you die in the game, you die in real life.
That's what I've heard.
No, actually, I just didn't make any kind of save point, and there's no health pickup, so like you have 1 heart left, and I'm like, oh boy. And this is not your ceiling climb ability.
What? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I
Throw
used
bro
this a lot.
monkey.
Exactly. I copied so much of Thoroughbro. I didn't like copy the code, but like so many things I learned during Thoroughbro.
This is cool. This is really good, actually.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. Just wait till you get the next ability.
The speedrunners would go crazy on this game.
Oh, just wait. This part, now you can dash. It's a Celeste, pretty much Celeste dash with shift.
Oh!
Yeah. Okay, this is the last one. Jump and press control. Jump off the
That's fun.
Okay,
Just
just
go,
grab
what
the
if I
edge.
fall? Oh.
There you go. That's the end of the game.
Oh.
I thought I was gonna have like the camera stop and like put the like some kind of logo up there. And you fell off.
The background's nice. I didn't even see that before. That's so fun. So, this is the pitch of the game. So you can already tell you're in trouble.
Oh yeah, I mean that cover image, like it actually looks pretty good.
It looks cool.
I mean like,
Luckily, that's exactly what the game looks like.
yeah, dude, I'm in trouble. I am in trouble.
All right, go
Look
for
at
it.
that UI, like, dude, UI artists in the chat, like,
That's your health bar.
okay. UI artists in the chat, like, you should probably find a new career. I think plumbing might be a good fit for you guys. Or I mean, I heard architecture. I don't think anyone would trust Chat-GPT to make a house for them, so probably
Not yet.
Okay. Dang, this isn't. Wait, is. Okay, we're going. Okay, honestly, is it randomized?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say like that's pretty cool if it's randomized. Like,
It made a script to randomize it. It didn't use it though.
dude, okay. No, this is it's right. Like, I think I'm in trouble.
Oh, you're out of backpack space.
Oh, is this where I go with my backpack?
No, that restarts the game. Obviously.
What do I do with my backpack?
You press E. And that opens the shop. Obviously. You did not play the tutorial. I can tell. Oh yeah, no, you can just mine it from wherever.
That's what I'm thinking.
You don't actually need to.
E capacity. Sell.
Yeah, so you just sold all your gems. That doesn't actually take your money.
Welcome to the curio shop.
So you can just upgrade up until how many coins you have. So now you have tons of backpack space.
That's great. Honestly, it's not as bad as you made it sound like it was gonna be. So
It got a lot better in the last 2 days. I'll tell you that much.
ChatGPT.
It was miserable. Oh, you lost some health.
How did I lose?
Oh, you're gonna run out of oxygen.
No.
You're gonna run out of oxygen.
How do I do it? How do I get oxygen? How do I? Bruh. Wait. How do
You
I
died.
get oxygen? You buy it in the shop?
No.
There's so many little fixes. I'm like, I could just press the like freeze rotation on the Z-axis and this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I tried. I presented this as an issue to it. It was like,
Okay, how do I move the drill level? And then how do I?
You have to mine 5 copper. You upgrade your drill with copper,
Oh, of
obviously.
Copper drains my powers.
Don't ask me which one is copper, because they all say +1 copper, even though they're not all copper. Oh,
I
you
won.
won! Good
Second
job.
try, third try, fourth try. I can't remember. Yeah, this gives me hope. Though. I mean, I know there's tools for this that, like, do make good games probably, but just it's nice. I think there's I think there will always be a market for human-made things. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, if I was building this off of that idea, this game would be so much better. And it would be fun. Like, we could actually implement a gameplay loop. Because right now there's nothing. It's not a game. It's just a thing where you move around and click stuff. But you can technically win, but it's like you get 10 seconds of gameplay time out of it.
It would be funny to try this again with like the same. Because I'm assuming Chat 6 isn't coming out anytime soon. This has been fun though to watch. I mean, it makes me feel good too that like I can beat AI at some things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll admit, like, it is quicker. Like, it's like doing an individual thing, but a whole big project, it really suffers that, and that makes me happy that I can.
Yeah. As soon as it's above the scope of the single thing it's generating, it can't think about it. And I don't know. If this video gets 100 billion likes, we'll make another one and do it with one of those actual official, like, coding game development project AIs.
And we'll postpone the AI apocalypse.
Yeah. And then
Helped by Plasma GPT.
I'm gonna make Chat-GPT play this game, one input at a time, by asking it, alright, now how long do I press the next button?
Put your vote in the comments for who won, me or ChatGPT.
If you're at all interested in these games or what we do, you can actually go to plasmastudios.dev right now, where we have this game, as well as some other fun ones, live and available to play just from your web browser. Head on over and give it a look. And you can also check out some other features on the site. Like, we actually have a music player dedicated to our own music, so if you liked any of the songs in this video, you can check that out there too.